Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining back. And I saw a lot of you and your faces for the first time because, the entire challenge has been a virtual challenge. And it's very difficult to actually put people's faces to their names because we haven't had many interactive sessions where we were able to chat with each other. It was largely speakers coming in, sharing their insights. So really, really excited that within the groups, everybody was talking with each other, kind of sharing insights on where they're coming from, what they're looking to get connected with other people on, technological challenges, business challenges. And I really hope within the community. So I've already shared the sheet, right? Like I said, more than 100 unique universities, colleges, institutions, they all bring with them their own unique backgrounds and experiences at the same, their own networks, their faculty members, peers, professors, etc. So I really hope for the advancement of the sector. I was telling Vidya earlier, without, for example, track one, track two won't exist, right? Because it's such a technology forward area unless startups have the right sci-tech specialists working on key things in their startup. They're not probably going to raise money. They're probably going to have inferior products in the market, etc., etc. They won't probably truly be able to factoring the innovation that needs to happen on the SciTech side of things, scale up, etc., etc. Having said that, I hope that some of you, anybody who had their camera switched on in the session, feel free to do that now. Towards the end, we can have a quick capture of our session today so that we have a memory with everybody present. But at the same time, I love to invite people to share their thoughts about the past few minutes, starting with our speakers today. So with that, do you want to go first? How
Yeah,
your
yeah,
experience was in chatting with the cohort this year?
sure. Thank you. Thanks so much again. I met with two sets of groups of people, very exciting and so nice to see from different parts of India, people are part of this program. I'm glad I was able to share whatever little I know about what we're doing and what is expected. I think there's tremendous amount of interest and like you said, in track one of things, whether it is changing the medium, the cell culture piece, the plant-based piece, substituting milk, to precision technologies, very nice to meet Henry from Mizoram talking about mycelium and mushrooms. I didn't even know what mycelium was thanks to Henry. So I think overall it's a very educative session for me to know, informative, because when you meet varied set of people with varied interests, but all in the broad direction of sort of good foods, creating good foods, this sort of new nutritional wave and awareness that is enveloping us. I think it's exciting. Times are ahead, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Vidya. What about you, Eric? How was your experience?
Thanks, Shardul. I've been hopping into most of the rooms, and it was really great to see how people interact, how these teams have interacted with each other, and they have been knowledge sharing was quite tremendous in these each of these sessions. And mostly, I was also listening in to see and to absorb what they are, what is being discussed, and what are the trends right now. One of the questions that I had was, how do we get to know about the upcoming programs, or how can we get in touch with CICO? So you can, I would just request you to please follow CICO on LinkedIn as well once. So any upcoming updates or programs, you can always be updated on this. And I'll share Shardul has the email ID as well. If there's anything specific, we can always be in touch. And all the best to you all for the rest part of the program as well.
Thank you so much, Vidya and Eric. You can feel free to stay for a little more while people are sharing their thoughts, so feel free to drop off. Devika, would you like to share any thoughts? So Devika, as you all know, has been a participant last year. She was just telling me in the main room that last year also she was thinking about the networking session that was done after phase 2 was over. So Devika, on to you.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the highlights for me in last year's challenge, the networking mixer, because for once, like during a pandemic year, we were finally meeting people and meeting people who with shared interests and seeing what they're doing. So I'm sure, Shardul, we can have like one more of these sessions since everyone's found it so helpful, and we can have more targeted discussions, because I saw in the chat that people are requesting for more time. So I'm hoping we can have more of this. So yeah, back to you, Shardul.
Awesome. Anybody else would like to share their thoughts? Just unmute yourself and probably go ahead. I can pick you up so there's no overlap. Who would like to go first? Just in the comments. Just let me know in the comments and then I can pick you up. Yeah, go on, Manoj.
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry, good evening. I have one question, Shakir. In the second phase, 5-phaser, we are asked, in one of the sections, it was asked that these plant proteins should not go any type of animal-based studies. Okay, so this concept I am not understanding why it is so, because there are some type of anti-nutritional factors present in the plant-based protein. So when we are going, like when some type of plant protein is used for food source, so when it is eaten by some mass of people, so it should underway some kind of animal-based studies, so to know what are the allergenicity, what are the toxicities. So this concept I want to clear, because
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, no, good question. And I can answer that. So basically the guidelines are given from the fact that we are a non-profit working towards obviously removing products out of the ecosystem when testing can be avoided. So there are multiple, cosmetic industry, pharma industry, food industry. There are multiple elements to think about it, not just clinical studies or toxicity studies. Obviously, where there are no alternative feasible approaches, entrepreneurs and scientists would go with the existing methods. Like think about, maybe somebody can talk about FBS, right? Like if they've thought about it, but you need fetal bovine serum for a lot of research, for example. People are trying to actively think about alternative solutions. That's the whole point, right? About the challenge, thinking about alternatives to meat, eggs, and dairy. Are there better ways of doing certain things? Now, obviously, given the feasibility and literature aspects, if things are not feasible right now or practical, try to figure out firstly if there are ways for whatever use case you're thinking about animal studies, if they can have alternatives. If not, obviously you'll have to perhaps in the shorter term think about going with some of them and still arriving. But in the interest of ideation and innovation, that's the kind of criteria that's mentioned in the evaluation criteria, Manoj. I hope that answers your question. But in aspects of toxicity studies, for sure, for example, clinical nutrition studies, there might be elements which could not be avoided, and you cannot do them, in vitro. They would have to be done in vivo. So, yeah, I don't see a lot of alternatives there.
Just one more, because actually we are not associated much with the industry. We are doing our research work in the lab. So one need I want to clarify that whenever some product is developed by some big industry, it is going for these in vivo studies or not, or they are taking them as a generally recognized as safe, and they need not to go any type of in vivo studies. So
yeah, for sure. That's a good question. So we'll have one session around this for GRAS and novel regulations. So there are a lot of aspects to consider here, right? Within plant-based, fermentation, and cultivated, there are different stages to consider at which you can consider a product as GRAS or not. For a lot of plant-based products, these are not issues if you're just processing millets or pulses, right? But if you're thinking of, say, getting soy leak hemoglobin, then it becomes a question depending on FSSAI. So a lot of study will have to go for any candidate thinking about it, which, for example, in your specific problem statement and the work that you're doing, you'll have to see what regulations currently exist. For example, some of the multinationals, all of them are complying to the FSSAI and other guidelines given for testing and for getting products to market. But please write to us with a more detailed query with your specific case and I can get back to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Manoj. Great.
And really, these previous two phases was really nice. There was no like online teacher was there that you should be here, but we learned a lot. This is really a nice experience for me.
I'm really glad to hear that, Manoj. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you join for the rest of the sessions as well. Dr. Gupta, I see your hand up. Do you want to go next? Hi, Dr. S. Gupta. Are you there? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. This is Shubhangi this side. Thanks, Shardul, for this opportunity that you have been giving us. Of course, GFI, but you have been really doing it quite patiently, forcing us, coaxing us, pushing us to reach our limits and try and test our capabilities. And today's session is something that I really look forward to, and I enjoyed interacting with various people from different arenas of this alternative protein sector. And it has been good understanding what they are doing and trying to tell them that what we aim to do. So as part of the team Milky Way, as you know, that we are working upon developing a solution where we are not working on innovations as such in the crop or the ingredients, but we are rather thinking about developing a solution for logistics and distributions to bring down better costs and reduce the expenses on the manufacturer's end. And maybe let's see how it goes. But it was a nice session, and there were a few things that came across in our breakout rooms, which were really inspiring and insightful. And this would be great if there are more such you can say sessions where there are just breakout room sessions where we can discuss and maybe give our suggestion and advices based on our experiences to other teams who are doing something else, because there are things that we are not doing right now in our you can say project in ISPIC. But we do have certain experiences. So sharing our experiences on such casual way on a platform is better for others also. So nice to connect with everyone. Thanks to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Gupta. And I think we can take a couple more. Who would like to go next? If you can just share your hands or raise your hand. Any insight, any thoughts from what you learned perhaps from some other teams or other candidates could be helpful. Okay, I'm going to pick up. Do you want to go, Ayush?
I believe Nitin's raised his hand.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go on to Nitin and then we'll go on to Ayush. Nitin, go on.
Okay, yeah, I was not able to unmute myself. Okay. Firstly, I would like to actually take this opportunity to thank not just GFI, but specifically Shardul, Devika, Nicole, because for people like, for virtually having this entire session or entire competition organized, and at the same point of time organize it in such a beautiful manner, wherein all of us having so many doubts all throughout these phase 1, phase 2, and even I remember I had some problems faced, and I had like mailed Shardul at about 11:30 in the night, and I still received replies from him. So all of us have faced a lot of issues because of this entire session being in a virtual manner, but all thanks to Shardul. I completely agree with Dr. Gupta, wherein she mentioned that it's not just about organizing this event, but he as well as the entire team has taken additional efforts to see to it that all of us have a very fruitful journey as such. So heartfelt thanks to the entire team, TGFI, for giving us such an experience. And at the same point of time, it's been a really nice experience of 4 to 5 months. We do not know what is in store for us for the next 3-4 months and beyond that. But at least the last for 3-4 months, right from phase 1, phase 2, and now phase 3, it's been a really nice learning experience, although like the scale at which we have been having, and that too virtually, it's amazing just to think that we were able to achieve this feat. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for that nice testimonial for sorts. But really glad that you were having a good time throughout the couple of phases, and this will only improve, right, with time. Like the number of teams that we have is very specific now. We know what they're working on. You already know the data on what everybody's kind of thinking about, what they're working. You can select what people you want to connect with, what synergies you can find. So I really hope that with Devika's suggestion of having more networking sessions we can do. Thank you so much, Bhavesh, for joining us as well. Arman, do you want to go next? Oh, sorry, Ayush, please go ahead. Yeah.
So I think the sessions were great, but I think they help us in one way, as in the people you meet, आप किसी को मिले ही नहीं हो पहले, and you have a very small time, and वैसा भी हो सकता है कि you say hello, you introduce yourself and no one replies, वैसा भी होता है. So it gives you that different experience where you are comfortable with uncomfortable situations. So तुम्हें like we have to face this when we go to the market. So I think वो part में भी this is a different part. Currently we are in the marketing part, so हमें सब चीजें वैसे ही दिख रही है कि how these things helps us when we go to the market part. But but even I have seen like जो लोग पहले सेशन में आए थे और उसके बाद सेकंड सेशन में the how people interacted, even that thing was improved. Like first में people were just very close, I thought, and in the second part लोग बोलना बंद नहीं करते थे. So that was a good part that I saw. And of course like GFI से तो I have been, मुझे like since this year एक शुरुआत से ही I have been a part of GFI, and even before when I was in Poland, वो वरुण सर का जो podcast चल रहा था feeding 1 billion वाला part, so like तब से पता था. But it's been I never thought के वहाँ से we would come to a place where we will be working as a cohort in GFI. So yeah, that's
absolutely really glad to have you, Ayush, and you're working on very interesting things. So we hope that more startups are able to connect with you. Like Vidya was talking earlier about using indigenous knowledge. I think Ayush should find that a great fit to get connected with him. And anybody else would like to? Yeah, Kapil, go on. We'll take one last one and then we'll stop the recording.
Good afternoon. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Kapil. Good evening.
Yeah. Without consuming much time, just want to ask a very important question here. Now we have to go for phase 3 and to make our proposal much more informative. I just want to ask whether the GFI has an opportunity to provide a lab so that we can work on the practical aspect of our what we have given in phase 2. So that's what I want to know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing it up. I think we've covered this a few times. We'd love to be able to provide this infrastructure. We are working with few universities right now to set up center of excellences so that, students like you in future can go to those pilot plant facilities. But as you can understand, because of the costs of equipments and the processes involved, a lot of track 1 is focused on ideation, right? And theoretical ideation. As long as you can build your proposal around making sure that things are sounding good. I mean, maybe if you had some equipment in your college, you've done some background work in that, you can always add that to supplement your claims and your outputs. But unfortunately, at this point, we are not able to provide the lab access to any of the teams. It's post-challenge. For example, there's NIFTN, there's IFPT, there are a few IITs. For example, the top teams, or by the virtue of you having developed a good proposal and a good idea, right? You're able to reach out to these incubators, bio incubators, get part of their training programs, get part of their short courses. For example, if you are a team, that Dr. Gurmeet is going to be one of the speakers. He's from TDU, which has a high moisture extruder, right? Like maybe you're planning to do your master's there, you get trained there. So that's the way currently this cohort is able to support some of these areas of actually going and doing work. So I hope that you get connected with more professors. And again, there are 800 people within the GF Ideas India's directory, more than that, in fact, close to 1,000 now, right? A lot of them own companies, a lot of them own infrastructure, though many of them might not have anything relevant for your specific technologically forward areas, but I think it still gives you an opportunity. I remember a couple of students had no equipment because of pandemic last year, but their teammate was in ICT Mumbai, so they started their experiments at that lab, and, they distributed the responsibilities accordingly so that whatever they wanted to capture the small part of their proposal, those tests were done in time by their teammates in some facility where the lab existed. Or maybe there's a lab close to Mumbai. You figure out if there's somebody in Mumbai or something like that, maybe from your cohort. So figure out probably how you can connect with others better to get some more thoughts and insights onto how you can perhaps validate some of your claims. If not, secondary literature and just good thinking, all of those things are still fine.
Thank you so much, sir, for this elaborative suggestion, and I'm glad to hear from you. Thank you so much. Grateful to you.
Awesome. Great to hear from you, Kapil. Thank you.